out of the box or out of the wall, whatever you want to call it, we have, boom, Despicable Me 3. If you notice, there's no 3D glasses going on because I don't know what happened. When this came out, they decided not to release a 3D version. They did, however, in European markets. So that's a little bit of a bummer. So this one, we got to ditch the 3D and see this in 2D. But I will be seeing Despicable Me 4 and 4D 3D. So this will be the only one without the 3D experience. Chase Lehocky here with the Blue Futon reviewing Despicable Me 3. What's this about? Pretty simple premise now. Now, Gru has a brother named Drew, right? Is it Drew? Is it Drew? I think it's Drew because I'm an idiot, right? Anyway, oh yeah, okay, so this is after the first Minions movie. Okay, that's good to know as well. But anyway, now you have the Minions movies coming out, Despicable Me 1, Despicable Me 2, and now, like I said, with this one, we have Drew and an 80s star who is now a villain, voiced by Trey Parker, a.k.a. Stan's dad. Okay, so I did research, because it's like, wait a minute. Trey Parker doing a PG movie? I could take a guess why. I was like, I had to take some research, and it was true. He's like, my daughter cannot watch any of my other stuff. South Park, Orgasmo, Basketball, Team America. So he said, you know what? I could do this and a daughter could watch some of the work that I'm doing right now. And it's perfectly fine. But all I know is if you watch South Park and you're an adult and you take your kids to see Despicable Me 3, you're going to be like, Stan's dad. And then the younger version of him is like, Stan or Cartman mix. And it is pretty funny. But this one, honestly, I think I enjoyed this one the most out of all three of them. So anyway, when talking about this actual story, you do, like I said, have the new villain, which is voiced by Trey Parker. You do have Steve Carell voicing his twin brother, of course. And you have the Minions kind of in their own storyline now, where there are only two of them are with Gru, because a lot of them want to be supervillains anymore. They're done with Gru. They're completely done. So they get arrested, and now they're in jail, and they're kind of running this jail until one of them has a change of heart saying, oh, Gru's been so much to me. And so that was a pretty simplistic story arc through and throughout. But the main story arc is Gru is now good, but his brother Drew wants to be villainous because that is the family business on that side of the family. And Gru's kind of like, actually, I'll help you, but I have other moments or other reasonings why I want to get this diamond instead. And at least with this movie, I think that's why I liked it the most because A, the 80s music is freaking amazing, bonkers. I love 80s music. And so when you're adding that into this movie, I'm absolutely gonna freaking love it. The animation is still fantastic through and throughout. It's still the goofy, bright, popping colors that kids could just stare and be like, ooh, bright colors everywhere, bright colors everywhere. And that is something that kids will completely enjoy. And with this story, I felt like it was more action and there was more stakes. And to me, the stakes were the kids, being in harm's way, Gru almost getting hit by lasers and other things like that. So unlike the first two where it was like, oh, that was simplistic third act. Yeah, this one is a simplistic third act, but there was still stakes at hand where you're like, you know what? Can someone actually get hurt? Is someone going to die? Of course, something like that happens, but you still feel something like that can occur because of what is happening. And so I did like that antics to it. The voice acting is still great. Steve Carell. They still bring everyone back. Kristen Wiig. You have, of course, Trey Parker now, which is a doubt. And then Julie Andrews does come back because she wasn't in the second one. But the mother does come back for a little bit of a, reasoning to figure out why he realized he has a twin brother now. So you do have that. It's still fun. I mean, kids are going to love it. It felt like less Minions on it. Now, I wonder if they did that on purpose because of the Minions movie. So they realized, let's dial it back on the Minions and now have it be more of the family aspect of the mother wanting to be called mother and trying to understand what she can do. Even though they did discuss that also in the second one about, her wanting to be, the mother character. And that is a good story arc with this movie, actually, with these two people mother and father who these kids aren't their own, but they're treating them like their kids, and they're realizing what it's like to be a good parent for these kids. And I do like that these kids aren't brats, because you get a lot of these other like movies where the adoption kids are brats to these new parents, even though these parents are trying the hardest to bring them into the best life that they can, like Instant Family, you could say Sound of Hope. But this one, I understand why they want to keep it simplistic, but I enjoy that simplicity because sometimes I get tired of watching these bratty kids like really treat these adults like a-holes, and these adults are just trying the best to give them the best life. So I do enjoy that where these kids, yeah, they might have a little bit of, angst to them, but it's never over the top where it's like, you know what, kids being kids. I really dug that. So yes, I'm going to be on the outlier that I think Despicable Me 3 might be the best one of this trilogy, not including the Minions movie, because I'm considering that something completely freaking different, honestly. But overall, Despicable Me 3, the action was leveled up a notch. I really liked Trey Parker voicing the villain. I really did. I liked the family element of this movie. I liked the animation of this movie. And you know what? Like I said, I'm a sucker, and I think this one is the best one right now. So Despicable Me 3 will receive a 4 out of 5 with Futons, which equals at 80%. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. And like I said, I'm the outlier, and I'm freaking okay with it. Audience score, 53% with 50,000. Critics is 58% with over 195. Critic consensus. Despicable Me 3 should keep fans of the franchise consistently entertained with another round of colorful animation and zany, a bit somewhat scattershot humor. Maybe because the Minions took a back seat in this movie. They did not I'm not saying they're not even in this movie, but it's there. But I wonder if the Minions movie really did hinder the experience. So let's look at the actual numbers of what Minions did versus Despicable Me 3, because that's got me wondering if the box office hindered due to it. So Minions' domestic gross was $336 million, and then $1.15 billion worldwide. While The Rise of Gru, the Minions' second one, did better domestically with $370 million, but did least worldwide with $939. So that is very interesting. So the first Minions I want to see was 336. All right, so now Despicable Me. All right, so the first one did 252, the second one did 386, and the third one did 264. However, worldwide it went 544, 973 or 975, and 1 billion. So interesting. Of course, the first one's the weakest. Then the second one did pretty damn bonkers. Minions did lower than Despicable Me 2, but higher worldwide. Despicable Me 3 did least domestic gross, but higher worldwide. And then Minions 2 did higher domestic gross than all of them, but had a lower worldwide gross than Despicable Me 2 and 3. There's no correlation with that. That is, okay, I thought I was going to say that's no correlation. I got nothing. Chase back here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know things Booftopia. You Booftonians, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'm going to watch Slate tomorrow, a week from now, a month, or a year from now, every single freaking one of you. And of course, you know what's happening next. Despicable Me